Welcome to Lighting Your Way, a podcast featuring exciting, hilarious, heartbreaking, terrifying, and joyful stories of real nurse advocates helping real patients get the best health care. Hi, I'm Nurse Betty Long. Each week, I and one of my nurse colleagues at Guardian Nurses will take you behind the curtain to help you better navigate the healthcare system when you or a loved one is sick or injured. On March 25, 1982, President Ronald Reagan signed a proclamation proclaiming National Recognition Day for Nurses to be May 6th. 8 years later, in 1990, the American Nurses Association expanded the recognition of nurses to a week-long celebration, declaring May 6th to May 12th as National Nurses Week. Each year, May 12th, which is recognized as Florence Nightingale's birthday, is celebrated around the world as International Nurses Day. Last year in 2020, which would have been Nurse Nightingale's 200th birthday, the World Health Organization declared that 2020 would be the year of the nurse and midwife. Little did we all know just how much 2020 would be the year of the nurse. So much so that the World Health Organization decided this year to extend the year of the nurse into 2021, and we at Guardian Nurses could not agree more. There are more than 4 million nurses here in the United States, as well as 24 million nurses across the globe who persevered during the COVID-19 pandemic to care for the rest of the world with courage, compassion, and resilience. I am lucky to work with 40 of those 28 million nurses here at Guardian Nurses. This week, for a special episode of our podcast, I sat down with 11 of them and asked them, after a long year, what keeps them motivated. To all of my friends and colleagues who are nurses, please accept my very warmest wishes for a very happy Nurses Week, month, and year. Good morning and welcome to the Guardian Nurses team. Thank you all for joining me this morning. We're going to talk and have kind of a round robin, and we're going to ask you some questions. Please don't be afraid. We're going to ask you basically what puts a smile on your face each day as a nurse, and what keeps you motivated every day to do what you're doing. So we have a lot of experience on the Guardian Nurses team, and I am pleased to have 11 of my colleagues here, all of whom have different years of experience in nursing. We're going to start with Chris McCarrick. Chris has been a nurse for 36 years. So Chris, tell us, after 36 years in nursing, what puts a smile on your face each day?
My members. I like when I can make a difference and I can see that I've made their life a little easier, that I'm there to support them, and they just have a sense of relief.
So when you say members, tell me what that means. Your patients or what?
Patients in the hospital world as an MCC. Members are the clients that I come in contact with every day through our unions, or I help with visits, help maintain their health, give suggestions, and just be there as a support system for them.
And MCC is Mobile Care Coordinator, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to Charlie. Charlie, you're one of the younger, if I may say so, younger, at least nursing experience on the team. You've been a nurse for 8 years. What keeps you motivated every day to do what you do?
For me, it's the people, just spending time interacting with them and helping them. And it was such a drastic change from my past career as a motorcycle mechanic, because I didn't deal with people very much at all there. I worked in the back on the motorcycles. It was just me and the machines.
Wow. And how did you go from motorcycle mechanic to mobile care coordinator?
I had an accident and shattered my leg. And while I was in the hospital, I was very interested in how they put me back together and the care that I got. It didn't matter what was going on. 24 hours a day, there was somebody there, to help me or, take care of my needs. And I thought that was really interesting, really helping people. So that kind of led me in that direction, where I started looking into the nursing courses and seeing what it would take to make a career change.
Wow. How long were you a motorcycle mechanic?
17 years.
Wow. And you've been a nurse for 8. And which
Mhm.
one do you like best?
I still like them both. The nursing it was just surprising to me. I was very naive when I first looked into it. I looked at the course catalog. I saw it was a 2-year program. I said, I'll be in and out and working. And what do I really need to be responsible for? The doctor's going to tell me what to do, and I just follow his directions.
Oh,
And
ding,
then when
ding,
I
ding,
got
ding,
into
ding.
nursing, I just would laugh at myself. I said, what a fool you were.
Yeah, yeah.
And I realized that, if the doctor makes any mistakes, it's on the nurse. It's your job to catch that. And if anybody below you makes a mistake, it's your fault. You were supposed to catch that as well. So I soon learned that the nurse was responsible for everything. And it gave me a whole new appreciation for what I was doing, and what all my coworkers have been doing all these
Oh,
years.
that's great. That's
So
great.
I was very impressed, and the more involved I got with it, the more I liked it.
A lot of
Very,
nurses, I know even myself and probably other folks that are going to answer, have had experiences with nurses, either through the family or through themselves, that led them to a career in nursing. So I'm glad you're put back together. Do you still ride a motorcycle now?
yes, yeah.
Hopefully more carefully. Well, great. That's a great answer. Thanks, Charlie. I appreciate your answer.
Thank
Let's
you.
move to Diane. Diane, you have been a nurse for 29 years. So what keeps a smile on your face every day?
Morning, Betty. I love people. I enjoy being a part of their lives. Everyone is just so unique, and everyone's story and life and things that they've been through and are going through is just so unique for each person. And I think that it's such a privilege that they allow us to take part in that and to be a help and to walk with them along the journey and help them, in all the ways that we have available.
Yeah, and you have quite a busy fund that you work with, you and your partner Janine. You want to tell a little bit about your day?
Yeah, our day is quite busy. My day usually starts when I open my eyes in the morning. I'm already prioritizing the things that I need to do and how I'm going to get it done, and looking over my list and prioritizing, what needs to be taken care of immediately, what can wait a little while, and, what I can catch up with later.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, and it doesn't probably end for a good while. And meanwhile, you're prioritizing your patients every hour. Yeah, good for you.
Yes.
You do a great job.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to shift over to Heidi Peterson. Heidi is one of our oldest, not in terms of age, but in terms of seniority at Guardian Nurses. Heidi has been with us for 10 years, and she has been a nurse for 35 years and is running around town. We call Heidi the Flash because she is buzzing about town in her role as a mobile care coordinator. Heidi, after 35 years, what keeps a smile on your face each day?
Oh gosh, Betty, 35 years, that sounds so long. And it sounds like it was just yesterday. I'll be honest, every day is different. And some days, you do wake up and think, what is going to make me smile today? And every day there is a smile, just the patients themselves. Every story is different, and there's something good in every story. And I have to say, I want to share a quick story that really made me smile just this morning, 9 a.m., bright and early.
Okay.
I went to an appointment with a patient, a female patient who had finished her course of treatment for breast cancer, and today was the big PET scan reveal. And, she was nervous. She was having some pain in her hip, and God, is it in my bone? Like, is it coming back? And the positive smile outcome was she was clean of any breast cancer or any cancer.
Great.
So, but also put a smile on my face was this hug that we gave each other afterwards.
There's the hug again.
Yeah, the human contact, the touch, the connections you make with your patients. I think that's what is the reward and what makes me smile.
That's lovely. And Heidi, you prior to in your early career as a nurse, you were in the Army, correct?
Correct. I was in the Army for 5 years.
Wow. So you were
And
Captain
yes.
Peterson.
Yes. Well, I won't say my maiden name at the time. Well, it was actually Captain Funky. So Back in the day, that was a big joke.
Captain Funky. All right.
Yeah.
Careful what you say on this podcast. It might come back to bite you.
Yikes.
Yeah. Thank you, Heidi. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
So Julie Bonacci, we're going to give you a shout out. Julie is also on our team. She has been a nurse for 13 years and is the regional team lead for the Pennsylvania crew. And Julie has an interesting journey to nursing too. Julie, tell us about that.
Well, so my journey started actually in broadcast journalism. That was my first love. I thought I wanted to be a news anchor. And then I got there and I realized that the world of news and media was just not as warm and fuzzy as as I hoped it would be. So I moved on. Of course, I became a mom in that span of time also, and found that, just nurturing and, taking care of people just kind of came naturally. So nursing seemed like an organic change of plans at that point.
Okay. And, what keeps you motivated every day doing what you do?
Well, that, it's kind of morphed and changed as life has taken me in different directions. But as a nurse, it's always been, being a part of somebody's story. And as a problem solver by nature, I just loved being able to take that nursing knowledge and help people get to a solution. And now being regional team lead, it's so nice to be able to offer that to my my teammates and the nurses on the team also, to be able to help them solve problems and help their patients to get to where they need to be. So
Right. Thank you, Julie. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, next we're going to go to one of our senior members, and I say senior because there's a lot of nurses on our team that have over 40 years of experience. And I'm going to give Mary Ellen Murphy a shout out at 42 years. Of course, Mary Ellen will tell you she started nursing when she was 10. But Mary Ellen, what keeps you motivated after all these years?
Well, Betty, for the first time in my life in all those years, I am working for a company that is nurse-owned, nurse-centered, and I'm surrounded by the most talented people you can ever imagine. So I'm very grateful for that.
Well, thank you. That is kudos to you and kudos to our team, which, as I jokingly, since I'm a big baseball fan, call the Yankees, since they did win 27 World Championships. Okay, so Mary Ellen, after 42 years, you got started in nursing at 10, right?
That's right. No, maybe 12. Maybe.
12. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
No, so I've seen a lot of changes in our nursing profession also. Technology is huge, from the time where we were taught documentation, when you had to have your pen that had the green and the red and the blue ink. Or the
Right.
And you had your name on it too, because you could feel it. But now we have iPhones and we have computers and we have instant sync issues with our computers. It's amazing, all the tools that have been given to us, but we still maintain, I see the common thread throughout the group, we still maintain the fact that it's that patient, one-on-one patient contact that nurses love. So.
Yeah, it's a common theme for sure. So now I'm going to shift over to one of your college nursing school friends, Mary Sharon Rumsey, who is celebrating 43 years. So she, I guess, was a year ahead of you. Mary Sharon, what makes you get up every day?
Honestly, I think it's pretty cool that, we as nurses can do what most other people can't do. I don't know whether we got our capabilities somewhere along the way in our lives or whether we were born with these as maybe innate gifts. But we get the privilege of caring for people in their most vulnerable moments. And boy, isn't that a privilege? Whether it's the cancer patient you're in the elevator with on their way up to chemo and, they've lost all their hair. They're, just dealing with their reality. but they have the most beautiful eyes. And so I comment on that, every single day, every opportunity that comes, find something positive to say, to remind them of their beauty, whether inside or out. They're at a time in their lives they're feeling pretty overwhelmed. So
Yeah.
It's just our privilege, and I think we're good at it.
Yeah, no, I definitely think certainly you are, and all the gang here at Guardian Nurses is very good at it. And I appreciate that you can still, after 43 years, find that joy, which is great, makes you you. So thank you. All right, so
Yeah,
we're going to continue
absolutely.
with the Mary Janes. We have Mary Ellen, Mary Sharon, and now Mary Jane, 38 years in nursing.
Hi, Betty. Yep, 38 years.
Good morning. So Mary Jane, what puts a smile on your face every day?
What puts a smile on my face? Opening my eyes, Betty. I'm really thankful for each and every day that we have. It's always, I always find it a chance to start something new. When I talk with patients, and they open up to me and they share their really unique stories and their concerns, when they trust me to help them find answers to their health questions, I find that extremely rewarding. It really makes me smile that my skills are there for them and that I can do something to help them. Making that human connection too is something that I value and am thankful for each day, and that makes me smile.
Were you always like that growing up? Did you always want to help people?
Um, shall I be honest? No, I think I was a bit self-centered growing up. I didn't even want to become a nurse. Actually, I sort of went to college for a couple of other things and took sort of a circuitous route to becoming a nurse. I didn't know what else to do, so I just decided one day to go to nursing school. And it's kind of funny because once I did, and once I started with patient care, I was hooked for life. I found that being a nurse wasn't just a job, it was an evolution of who I am and who I've become. So
that's wonderful. Were Mary Ellen and Mary Sharon in school with you?
No.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Mary Jane. I appreciate your answer. All right, we're going to move into the vice presidents at Guardian Nurses. Rebecca, you're on tap. Tell us what keeps you motivated every day.
Betty, what keeps me motivated every day is I'm doing what I've always wanted to do. And I feel lucky that I've always been able, once I took on this career anyway, to help people, even if I don't have the solution, to know that I can get to the solution for them and utilize my network and my colleagues here and across the healthcare system is really empowering. And, to be able to look at a patient who's scared to death and be able to say to them, I'm going to do this with you, and you don't need to carry the worry and the burden alone anymore. I'm here, and actually mean it and know you can reach a result for them is a blessing. We're lucky to be in this position because it's healthcare is difficult.
For sure. Right. And it's a very empowering position to be able to do that for patients, and then to have them feel like they can do it for themselves, hopefully, if you're not there. So that's great.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go to Robin. Robin is also one of our most senior and tenured members on the Guardian Nurses team. Heidi and Robin go way back with me in the early days when we were just getting started. Robin, you've had 23 years as a nurse, and most of that prior to Guardian Nurses was pediatric experience, wasn't it?
Hi, Betty. Yes, I was a pediatric nurse for 18 years at CHOP.
And CHOP is Children's
Hospital of Philadelphia.
Right.
I knew that I always wanted to be a pediatric nurse. I had an acute illness when I was 4 years old, and I spent 2 weeks in the ICU and a month in the hospital at Children's Hospital. And so growing up, my parents would always tell me about the nurses and how they helped me. I had a little record player beside my bed in the ICU, and the nurses would put John Denver and Stevie Wonder on the record player and play it to me, and then they would hand me to my mom with all my tubes, and my mom would be sitting in the rocking chair rocking me.
Do you remember what song they were playing? Was there a particular song that they wanted you to hear?
Isn't She Lovely?
Oh,
Was huge. My mom always talks about that song to me. And any John Denver song that comes on, I immediately, think of my parents and Children's Hospital.
oh, that's great. That's great.
So as I, grew through the years, I decided that I was going to be a nurse and I wanted to work at CHOP and fulfill my dream. And ironically, I was able to meet the attending physician that took care of me in the ICU.
When you were a nurse there?
Yep, when I was a nurse there. And then as I had children, I was able to have my boys see this pediatrician. So it was just so inspiring to me that, the pediatrician that took care of me was taking care of my sons.
Did he remember you?
He remembered me because my parents sent him a Christmas card every year.
Oh.
And they still do to this day.
Wow. And did you get to work with any of the nurses that had taken care of you?
So that's a great question. One of the nurses that I worked with believes that she had remembered my name and was in the ICU at one time when I was inpatient, but I've never been able to really confirm that.
Wow. Wow. That's great. That's a great story. And so every day, what keeps you motivated, I'm going to guess, is just caring for people.
Yeah, caring for people. I love when a guardian nurse comes to me and asks me questions about how to help a pediatric patient. Right? It's not just about the pediatric patient, it's about the family too.
Right.
And helping the family. And I think that, I bring to guardian nurses and to some of my colleagues how important it is to not only engage with the patient, but also the extended family that's helping them through this journey.
Yeah, Robin, I have heard you many times talk to families about their child, and I am always left amazed at the way and how patient you are, the things that you even encourage them to do that, as you often say, the adult world, which I always think is like a sci-fi movie, the adult world is not like. But you're an extraordinary pediatric nurse. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Betty.
Thank you. Okay, Tish, you're going to pull up the end of the team here. Tish McBride has been a nurse for 33 years, so a little bit over 30, but not into the seniors group of Mary Sharon and Mary Ellen. Tish, you've been a nurse for 33, right? 33 years. What puts a smile on your face every day?
The ability to connect and to help my members. To really, get in there and care for my patients.
Yeah, and so your members are also union members?
Yes.
And what kind of help do you offer them?
It can be anything from, a visit in the hospital, helping them find physicians, going to appointments with them, just being an ear for them, somebody to talk to.
Yeah, and we know the healthcare system is not easy to navigate. So having someone with your experience to help them is a huge benefit to them. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, gang, it's been wonderful to talk with all of you and to learn a little bit more about why you became a nurse and, what puts a smile on your face every day. I want to wish all of you a happy Nurses Week, month, and according to the World Health Organization, Happy Nurses Year. Since we didn't get to do it in 2020, World Health Organization has given us a redo for 2021. So again, thank you for what you do every day on behalf of our patients and our clients. And thank you for participating today in our podcast. Take care. If you have any questions that you would like us to address in a future episode, please email us at podcast@guardiannurses.com. That email again is podcast@guardiannurses.com. We would love to hear from you. Thank you for joining us this week. You can find the Lighting Your Way podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google, YouTube, Spotify, and Stitcher. If you liked what you heard, tell a friend and leave us a review. You can learn all about Guardian Nurses Healthcare Advocates on our website, guardiannurses.com. So until next time, find some joy in your life, pet all the good doggies and kitties, and remember to tell your people that you love them. Take care.